Kaynard Malk Jr. Hi Chris, I'm a big fan of your channel. I understand what happens when one spouse chooses to leave the Church of Scientology. Divorce, disconnection, horrible things. But my question is, what happens when both spouses want to divorce and both plan on staying in Scientology? Does the church get involved with marriage counseling? If there is money involved, like spousal child support, is that money taken away from the church? Money that could go to pay for going up the bridge to total insanity, oops, I mean freedom. Just wondering how the Church of Scientology handle that, or do they even care? Oh, sure. There is Scientology marriage counseling. It's a formal procedure that's done where both it's the only kind of auditing procedure done where an auditor goes in the room with both the wife and the husband at the same time. And they're both in the room, and individually one of them goes on the meter, holds the cans on the meter, and is asked. The marriage counseling basically consists of both of them in rotation being asked, what have you done to, like let's say the wife's name is Jane and the husband's on the meter. So it's going to be, what have you done to Jane? What have you withheld from Jane? What have you done to Jane? What have you withheld from Jane? Over and over and over again until the husband has, feels better or has a cognition of, oh, wow, yeah, I've been really horrible to her, wow, I feel so much better now. And the meter responds, and then he goes and sits there, and then Jane goes on the meter, and she's asked, let's say the husband's name is Bill, what have you done to Bill? What have you withheld from Bill? What have you done to Bill? What have you withheld from Bill? Over and over and over again. And since they're both in the room, they're both hearing all these, horrible and awful things that these guys have done to each other that they haven't necessarily told one another. And by doing this and basically getting off all their secrets and the hidden communications and jealousies and problems and various things, this is supposed to be a way of restoring love and understanding between the couple. And it pretty much works pretty well, actually. Not all the time. Not all the time by any stretch, okay? I mean, I've seen it salvage marriages and I've seen it not salvage marriages. I guess I'd say, actually I say it works really well, but actually maybe 50% of the time, right? I've seen it salvage marriages where the husband and wife honestly really got along better afterwards, stayed together, wanted to be together, whereas before that they wanted to get divorced. And then I saw other cases where they did it, didn't really get a lot out of it, said they did, but really didn't, and ended up getting divorced anyway, right? The idea is whether you get divorced or not, it's supposed to restore communication and good feeling between the two. And, generally speaking, I can say that it works in that direction. But no, not 100% of the time. And it costs money, of course, to get it. So that's something that Scientology will really push hard for if a couple is going to get divorced or saying that they're separated or on the rocks or having trouble. Get some marriage counseling. Maybe we can, maybe we can do something about that. Actually, they don't say maybe we can do something about it. They say, oh yeah, we'll fix it. And then after they've done that process, by the way, they are also, as a couple, supposed to do the communications course and a course called How to Salvage Your Marriage, right? Which goes over different Hubbard advices about, being married. And of course, Hubbard being married 3 times is chock-a-block full of good advice about being married. Anyway, yeah, I was being a little sarcastic there. Now, in terms of money, the church will always come down on the side of the person who's got more money. That's for sure. Unless the person who's got more money is just absolutely nuts. Or is going in an anti-Scientology direction. But generally speaking, your question says, well, all things being equal and them both wanting to continue in Scientology, if there's a side to be taken, the church will come down on the side of the person who, has got the bucks. Because, again, Scientology is all about money. And even when the staff members don't realize that that's what it's all about, they still naturally go in that direction because it's sort of a subconscious thing even, it's just so obviously money driven that the staff will tend to side with the person who's going to, as they would probably think of it, will side with the person who's got more money because that person is going to have a more likely chance of paying for and going up the bridge, right? Whereas the poor guy or the person who doesn't have the money, yeah, not so much, right? But it's pretty arbitrary. If both things being equal between the husband and the wife, it's going to become down to personalities and things like that if there are sides that are going to be taken by the church against one or the other of the couple. Or no sides will be taken and they'll get a divorce and that'll be that, and then they'll both be treated like regular Scientologists. So it kind of depends on a case-by-case basis, I guess. So but what I said applies in general terms. So there you go.